What is up, guys? And in today's video we are going to talk about operators in Python. So there are at least 6 operators in Python, and I'm going to teach you the basic operators in this video. The advanced concepts we can figure it out after this playlist if some of you want to get into operators and discover what is new in the operator world in Python. So starting off, we have the first operator known as the arithmetic operator. And these operators basically consist plus, minus, modulus, multiplication, then multiplication. And to explain it to you, I'll open my PyCharm ID. As you can see, I've opened my PyCharm ID and I'll quickly make a new file, and this time I'll be naming the file as operators with double S, because we don't want the Python file to collide with a module name. Because if we name our Python file after a module, once we import a module for external purposes, we will get the Python file that we have wrote inside our directory. So I'll quickly make a new Python file and name it as operators with 2 S's, and I'll zoom it for you. I'll close this tab. Yeah. So operators, and we have arithmetic operators, operators, and in these operators, the plus, the subtraction, the multiplication, division, the modulus sign, and then the double multiplication sign. And I'll tell you what this double multiplication sign and the modulus is. You must be familiar with the plus and minus sign. If I make two variables here and I wait a minute, I'll not make two variables. I'll write 5 plus 6 is, and then I'm going to add these two numbers. So as you can see, we have got this plus operator, and this plus operator is known as the arithmetic operator because it just adds the number. And if I right click on this program and I run it, as you can see, it prints that 5 plus 6 is 11. So perfect. And after this, I'm going to replicate this by clicking on Control and D. So it replicates this for me down. And if I write 5 minus 6 is 5 minus 6. And if I write 5 multiplied by 6 is 5 multiplied by 6, then 5 divided by 6 is 5 divided by 6, and 5 modulus 6 is 5 modulus 6. So if I run this program, as you can see, it is printed out that 5 plus 6 is 11, 5 minus 6 is minus 1, 5 into 6 is 30, and 5 divided by 6 is 0.83333. But what is this modulus sign, guys? Whenever you divide a number by number, the remainder that comes out is the result of this. So for example, when you divide 6 by 5, you cannot actually divide it instead of the decimal points. So you actually have to multiply 6 by 0 and the remainder would come out to be 5. So that's why 5 is printed here. Similarly, if I print 3 modulus 2, and if I write, I'll have to write it here as well because this is what the result is. And if we divide, wait a minute, I'll go to my Paint 3D, and if we divide 3 by 2, as you can see, we'll have to put 1 as the quotient, and in the remainder it comes 1. So we'll have to put the modulus, that is 3 modulus 2 is equal to 1, because after 1 we cannot actually physically write anything in the quotient here as an integer. We'll have to make a point here and add a 0, but we don't want to do that in modulus. So modulus is basically the remainder of the division, and I'll give you another example. For example, we have 5 and 2, and in this case the remainder will be 1, as I'll put the quotient as 2, and again 5 modulus 2 is 1 as well. So if I print this for you, as you can see, it is printed that 3 modulus 2 is 1. So that's how arithmetic operator works. And there's another arithmetic operator, that is double multiplication sign, and in this it actually makes it exponential. So as you can see, so as you can see, if I put double multiplication sign here, so what the Python program does is that it makes it 3 raised to 2, that is 9. So that means 3 raised to 2 means 3 multiplied by 3, then 3 raised to 3 means 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, and then 3 raised to 4 is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. So that's how exponents and powers work. If you haven't heard about exponents, I am pretty sure you can Google it and find it out yourself. But this is how exponential works, and this is how you can implement it in Python most importantly. So you'll have to put double multiplication sign here. You just cannot put a cap in between. So this was all for the arithmetic operators. And after that, we have another operator type, and I'm going to rub this for you. Yeah, so we have assignment operators. Oops, assignment operators. And these operators we have plus is equal to, then minus equal to, then even modulus equal to, or multiplication equal to. And I'll go to my PyCharm ID in order to show you. Then as you can see, I've commented this out so that it doesn't print anything. And I'll write assignment operators. After this, I'm going to print 5 plus is equal to 1. No, wait, sorry. I'll name a variable and I'll name it as x. Then I'll put, for example, 20 in x, and I'll print that x plus is equal to 2, and I'll have to actually put this outside the print statement, and after that I'll print x. So guys, as you can see here, what is this plus equal to? What does this mean? It is an assignment operator. Assignment operator means that you are assigning something, that you are giving something to it. This plus equal to means that x is equal to x plus 2. It just means this. So in this case, x is 20, right? So x will be equal to 20 plus 2, that is 22. So it will print 22. As you can see, it has printed 22. And we can replicate this, and then we can write x minus, I'll comment this out. And what this x minus equal to 2 does, that it just assigns x to x minus 2, that is 20 minus 2. And what is 20 minus 2? 18. So if I run this, as you can see, it has printed 18. And this is how the assignment operator works. Then we have many assignment operators such as modulus operators that basically assigns x is equal to x modulus 2, that is 0, because the remainder between 20 divided by 2 will be 0. So as you can see, it has printed 0. Then we have other operators such as multiplied, and this will print x is equal to x multiplied by 2, that is 40. And as you can see, oops, sorry, I'll have to comment this out. And if I print this, as you can see, it has printed 40. So that's how assignment operator works. It is related to arithmetic operators, but in this case we are just assigning it to a variable. So that's how it works. And after assignment operators, I'll just comment this out. So after assignment operators, we have comparison operators. I'll rub this. And if you guys want to take notes, actually I recommend you to take notes, and you don't have to remember these operators, guys. This is just for your information, that when you code in Python, you'll get to know about these operators, and these operators will be not memorized by you, but it will actually be used by you. So the third type of operator is comparison operator. And the comparison operator is basically Boolean. It is Boolean, that is true or false. And the example of the comparison operators, some of them are equal to, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, then less than or equal to. And as you can see, I'll go to my PyCharm ID, and I'll write comparison operators. After this, I'm going to print, actually I'm going to name a variable x is equal to 2, x is equal to 10. So if I print that x is greater than equal to 10, it should print true, because x is actually 10 is greater than or equal to 10, and that is true because 10 is equal to 10. So if I print this, as you can see, it has printed true. And if I print x is less than equal to 10, and that will be true as well, because 10 is actually equal to 10. And if I print that is x greater than equal to 20, it will print false, because 10 is less than 20. As you can see, it has printed false. And if I write that x equal to 20, and actually x is 10, so it would print false. So that's how comparison operator works. It just tells you the boolean character, that is true or false, that is x greater than some number, or is x less than, or is x equal to. So these are comparison operators. And after comparison operators, we have um, another type, that is logical operators. So here we have logical operators, and in logical operators we basically have and, or, is not, and these operators are boolean as well. So if I go to my PyCharm ID, and as you can see I've commented everything out, and I'll write logical operators, and after this I'm going to make a x variable, and I'm going to name it as 20, and I'm going to make a y variable, and I'm going to assign 20 to it. Okay, so if I print that x and y, that is print x and y, that is 20 and 20. So as you can see, it will print 20 because x and y is 20. And if I print x or y, as you can see, it prints 20. So basically logical operators, they tell you which number you want to choose. So if I print 40 here, as you can see, it prints 20 at one place, and it keeps on printing 20 because I've put x or y. So that's how logical operators work. And if I write that print x is 20, and if I print this, as you can see, it has printed that it is true because x is actually 20. And they are telling me that, did you mean equal to, did you mean the assignment, did you mean the comparison operator? Because we can also use comparison operator in this case, and the PyCharm ID is just telling me that, did you want to write the is instead, the equal to instead of is. So it's just telling me, it's not giving me an error. But as you can see, the program has printed true. And if I print x is not 20, it will print false because x is 20. So this is how not is used after is. And if I cut this is, and if I run this program, as you can see, it prints true. But if I add not into it, and basically I'll change the case because that's what I've taken y for. So if I print y is not 40, that is false, and it will print false. So that's how logical operators basically work. And after this we have membership operators. Membership operators, and in membership operators example, we have in, not in. So to explain this to you, I'm going to make a list and name it as list, and I'm going to add random numbers into it. So as you can see, I put some random numbers into the list, and if I print that 34 in list, so this will actually give me boolean, that is true and false. And if I print this, as you can see, it prints true because 34 is actually in the list at two places. But if I print 1000 in list, it will give me false because there's no number such as 1000 in the list. So as you can see, it prints false. But if I print 1000 not in list, it will print true. Why? Because 1000 is not in the list. So this will become true. And if I run this, as you can see, it prints that it is true. But if I write 32 not in list, it will print false because 32 is in the list. So as you can see, it prints false. So that's how membership operators works. And for the last operator, we have bitwise operators. And in bitwise operators, it gives us a number, and in bitwise operators we basically use and or. So this right here, it is known as and this slash that is present above your enter key and below your backspace key, so this is known as or. So if I write x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, and if you have heard about binary numbers, so 0 in binary numbers is 00, and 1 in binary number is 01. Okay, so if I print x and y, And if I run this program, as you can see, it has printed 0. But if I print x or y, it will print 1. Why? I'll go to my PyCharm IDE to explain it to you. I'll erase this off. Okay, so I'll write that the 0 is 0 0 in binary and the 1 is 0 1 in binary. So if I write print 0 and 1, that means that we are choosing that the program is looking at these two numbers simultaneously. It is checking that 0 0. Okay, what is 0 0? 0 0 is 0. So I'll print 0, and after this it will check that 0 1. But what is 0 1? It is actually 0. So 0 0 0. So it will be 0, and that is 0. So it will print that it is 0. As you can see, I checked these numbers simultaneously. This number, then this number, then this number, and then this number. And that's how it actually works. So if I print, so if I print um, 0 or 1, the program will look at the numbers that is 0 or 0. What is 0 or 0? It is 0. But what is 0 or 1? It is 1. And what is 0 1? 1. So the program will print 1. So that's how the OR and AND operators work. You can go deeper into bitwise operators, and if you are into boolean and binary, I can make a separate video for you guys if you want, because the program really works faster in bitwise operators, because when you boil down to machine learning level code, the program really likes logic and bitwise operators, and these binary operators, they move really fast and they are really suitable for the machine. If you want me to make a new video on these types of operators, so just write that down in the comment section below. And guys, if you haven't accessed my Python playlist, the link is in the description, so you can go and access it. So basically I've just explained you the basic operators in Python and what are the types of it, and I'll not go into deeper into operators because I want to keep this course simple and thorough for you guys, so that you can understand beginners to advanced in Python. So that was all for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.